Good morning, folks. What a pleasure to have you here this fine and glorious morning. Live at Timmy Towers. Yep, the sun is shining and it's a fabulous day. So let's do some good mornings. Hello, Catherine. Nice to have you with me from Penrith today. And good morning, Jeff and Kelly. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like my garden. Hello from Warrington, Tim. Good morning. And the Bolton mob, Mark Daniel. Hello from Worksop. Got Daniel Hancock watching. And my cousin Sylvia. Hello, Sylvia. In gorgeous Shropshire. Hiya, Timmy, says Stephen Charlton. Good morning. Morning from Louth in Lincolnshire, Martin John Knowles. So, give me a nice hello and a good morning. And tell me where you are. I like to know where people are watching. It does make a difference. I'm going to put some colours out onto my little palette here. And I'm going to be painting this morning the fountain. And I'm going to tell you a couple of stories. So, good morning from sunny Devon, Brenda. Nice to have your company. Jeff in Essex. Essex. Nice county. I hope the sun's shining with you today. Isn't this great? You know, you wake up in the morning and you go, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Do I go from the kitchen to my studio to my garden? Well, these are the choices that we have. These are the choices. And if we're lucky, we may get to go off to go and do the grocery shopping. Ooh, what a highlight that is. Well, it is. It is, because you see people from a distance. And in the normal scheme of things, you'd say, hello, good morning, you go up and shake their hands, but you say it now from a distance. Good morning. Don't come near. Right, who we got? Hello from Bush Mills at Finn McCool's. Hey Lee, lovely to see you. Bush Mills, top part of the world. The gorgeous Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland. One of the finest coastlines in the world. You live in God's own country. And Finn McCool's, we stayed there on our bike trip 5 years ago. It was 5 years ago, honestly, in May. And it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Loved it. So good morning. And we've got some nice messages coming in this morning. Bryony Stain says, I remember meeting you at Butlins when I was a kid. Yeah, you were pulled up on stage. You lucky thing. How good to be called up on stage and be made a fuss of. Morning to Stephen in Lancaster, County Durham. And to Melissa, good morning to you too. When is the fridge auction? Would love to own a fridge previously owned. Darren. Yeah, new fridge arriving today because the old one's died on us, so it's got to go. Good morning to George in Kent. What part of Kent are you? And hello to Lee. You cycled through our town and had a photo on the bridge, I believe. Where? In Hertfordshire. Lovely. I like Ware. Nice town. I was doing the cycle route 61, which goes from Maidenhead through Slough along the canal, the Grand Union Canal, up to St Albans and around through Hertfordshire and ends up in Ware. Ware. It's lovely. It's a beautiful ride. Quite a long ride, but it's good. Watching from Caithness, the very top of the map. Hey, Graham, good to have your company this morning. Hope the sun's shining with you. I'm really looking forward to cycling your neck of the woods and know it's going to happen sooner rather than later. Well, actually probably later rather than sooner. I'll just rephrase that. Good morning to Trevor. Saw you in Poole on stage a couple of years ago. Yeah, that was good. That was good fun. I enjoyed that. Thank you. Hello from Headcorn in the middle of Kent. So, what have we got? Hello from Cardiff. What was it like getting the job at TVAM? I'll tell you a bit about that in due course. Now, what can you see here? you can see this board I'm going to paint on today, and behind it you can see a couple of cherubs, and those two cherubs are going to be my subject today. I did a little practice in watercolour. That's the watercolour practice. You'll see the time-lapse video of that. I've posted it onto the social media platforms. You know, it's whichever ones you use. You know, we're on Facebook right now. Maybe you prefer Instagram or Twitter or whatever, but it's there on all of them, because I'm on all of these locations just to show what I'm going to be painting. Stockton in Tees and Hannah Webb in Northamptonshire. Hello from the sunny Isle of Wight. Oh, Jill, you lucky girl. Sunny Isle of Wight. I like the Isle of Wight. It's a good place. Hello from Prestatyn. Steve's in Maidenhead. Who else we got this morning? Oh, I got a bunch of people saying good morning. That's very nice. Keep these messages coming. And when you're ready, I'll begin. I'm going to paint today. Oh, by the way, if you wobble, it's because my water is here. Shall I move that over here? It might be easier, might do, yeah. I'm painting in acrylics today. Acrylic paints such as these, Kryler, De La Roni are my preferred acrylics. They're quite heavy body. I've also got some lovely Winsor & Newton Artist acrylic. There's a feeling with acrylic paints that they don't, that they change colour when you put them on. That sounds a bit odd. How can they change colour when you put them on? Well, somebody once said that to me and I said, I don't believe you. Anyway, apparently the Winsor ones don't. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to block in where I think things ought to go. I know when I'm painting this that it doesn't matter, you know, that each brush stroke is not the be all and end all. It just gives you an idea of where things are going to go. And it's nice to be able to work out where things have got to be. Right, I need that Naples yellow ochre. That'll do. Bit of yellow ochre. I'll put that on. So I'm drawing in where I think things are going to grow. I'm just roughly sketching them in here. Thinking to myself, well, that should go about there. That will come up like that. That will go about there-ish. There's going to be a piece there. I'll put a Dubry Watsit over there. Dubry Watsit, that's a technical term, by the way. A Dubry Watsit. Anybody else use that phrase? Yeah. Okay, and then that's the highlight bit. I've chosen this particular angle. Then I know all my flowers are going to come in here. I could actually push all this up a bit higher. You know what? I think I will. Yeah, there you go. I'm so busy talking, I've already put things in the wrong position, so I'll move it up and it'll work. You'll see. Acrylics are very forgiving. They're lovely to work with, acrylic paints, because they dry quickly. And that's the good thing with acrylic paints. The bad thing with acrylic paints is that they dry quickly. When I've been working in oil paints, they hold their feeling for quite some time. Yeah, that's it. That's what I want that to do. That's going to come down here with a little bit of that pale green. mixed in with the, there's a highlight into there, and then that's going to be all dark into here. You'll see that will come in dark there. That will come dark down there. Somebody was asking me the other day, how often do you paint? And the answer is most days. Because if you're going to be an artist, a painter, you've got to do it every day. You've got to practice. The more you paint, the more you practice on these things, and it's a good thing to do. Right, strong shadow down here. The edge of that. That's it. That's how this sits, this fountain. These cherubs have been here since I moved here. Moved to this house in '91. Were you born then? And Billy the gardener, our son, was born here. And it suits me. I think you can see that. You can see in the way that I react to each morning and each landscape that I like. I like this. But I also like getting out of my bike and going off and exploring. That noise that sounds like Mallett's mallet is Mallett's mallet. And it's the notification on my phone. So when I hear that, I know somebody's sending me a text, or there's an alert or something, and occasionally, just occasionally, I bother looking at it. Are you one of these people who look at everything that happens on your phone, or do you find yourself going, I'm busy now? I don't think I'll bother. Right, okay, so you can see that the fountain's already sitting into its position. Hello to Kelly, happy birthday yesterday. And I'm going to concentrate a little bit on this now. So here we go, we've got some. Now can you see behind the fountain there's a white wall, and interestingly, as the next hour develops, the sun is going to go across in that direction, and so that will go into shadow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the highlights now, because I know where they're going to be and I know what effect they'll have and how good they'll look. So within an hour these highlights will have gone. It'll all be in shadow. Oh, morning Harriet, how are you?
I'm fine, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Oh, doing one of your lovely paintings.
What do you think?
Gorgeous. My favourite one so far is the one Wendy has, you did for Wendy. I think I've told you before, the railway children sitting on their fence.
Oh, up at Wendy Craig's house?
Oh, gorgeous.
Oh,
absolutely
thanks.
Gorgeous. Oh, I stood looking at it for a little while, she let me. It was just wonderful. I thought it was just absolutely lovely. It's one of my favourite films. So,
oh, it's a great film.
yeah,
Send our love to Daddy.
I know, isn't it lovely?
It's nice that.
I'll leave you to it. Take care, my
Hey, have a lovely day, Harriet. That's Harriet, the Hermes lady, doing another delivery. Well, actually, this day she does Hermes, she does Amazon, all sorts of things. And she turns out what you didn't see. She wears her son's face mask. He's got one of those, you know, skateboarding face masks, and she wears that. It just looks hilarious. And she's great. Nice, isn't it? I like the conversation we have with the delivery people. They are the life and soul at the moment. They are saving us from misery. Right, okay, you better have that shadow along the same line. That's the top of the wall there. Okay. And there's a nice... Whoa! Hold still, hold still. grey shadows coming in behind. That's it. Now those shadows will have gone, as I say, in an hour. So when we look at this within an hour's time, you'll go, hang on, those shadows aren't there. No, but they're there now. So we'll paint them in. You paint them in, wash the brushes. Already, by the way, that acrylic paint that I put out 15 minutes ago is drying. So I'm very conscious of that, of how quickly this dries. Right, blocking in some green in the plants. Now I'm not sure you can see here, you might just be able to see, but right behind here, on my pond, I have a collection of shoes. Yeah, shoes. So what happens is, as and when the shoes wear out, you can get bored with them, you want to change them, you've had enough of them, there are two things you can do with them. One, you can take them to the charity shop and recycle them, which is a very good thing to do, and I thoroughly approve. Or two, you can plant them with ferns, summer blooms, and put them on the fountain. And that's what I've been doing for the past few years, to put some shoes in here. Right, let's get a few shapes of boot. That's it. That's the shape of the boot. Yeah, I like planting these, and anybody who comes to the house always comments, the first thing they say is, "You've got shoes outside. Why have you got them?" And I say, because I'm Mr. Mallett and I want to have them. So that's what I do. Not everybody thinks the shoes are a good idea. I have had comments occasionally from my family who say, "I've had enough of these shoes, can't we get rid of them?" So why? They said, "Oh, well, they look in a mess," somebody said. I said, "But they're lovely, we like them." And I say, "You've got a better idea." And of course they haven't got a better idea, because there is no better idea than having shoes on your pond. And you'll see them when I do the reveal. Right, those are the shoes sitting down the front. And then I've got these beautiful, can you see them? Yeah, you can see those white flowers. Yep, here they are. I'm going to put them all into here. I have left the shoe poking out in front, and the reason for that is artistic license. I've got one of those, an artistic license, and I like I want to see the shoes, so I'm keeping those in. Right, now then, quincredone. Where's that quincredone red gone? It's somewhere safe in here. Is it in here? Tell me I bought it out. Oh, well, I'll put a bit of orange. I'll mix that with the deep violet, and that might just give me the colour I'm looking for. I'll put it somewhere. We all do this. We all hide things. Oh, now that comes out as a sort of a gunky brown. Look, just send me messages. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, bit of pyrrole red and naphthol red light. I'll add this in. Well, you didn't keep an eye on the painting, did you? Nearly blew off the board there. It's your job to look after that, thank you. Right, I'll put, oh, that's more like it. Bit of that. And a bit of this. Oh, that's a nice colour. Yeah, okay. Right, let's get a bit of... Wash up your brushes. Keep your brushes clean. Particularly when you're painting with acrylics, because they dry so quickly. Oh, that's it. So I'll add some white. Mix it with the purple and the pyrrole red, and that will give me my flowers down the front here. Yep, that's good. Now, let's have a look at some of your questions that you've been pinging in this morning. See what we've got here. What was your favourite country you travelled to in Wackaday? I was 16 in 1991 and remember you being number 1 in 1990, getting married the same year. That's right. That's right. And guess what was number 1 on the day we got married? Itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini was number 1. Now, it's not very often that people are number 1 on the day they get married. And when you think, you know, a wedding usually takes a bit of planning, I think we'd started the planning around about April, maybe about this time of year for a September wedding. It wasn't one of these where you think, oh, I'll plan it for a year or more. No, we started planning it, I think, in April for September. Found the venue, started all those plans going, and then suddenly there's a record. There's a record out and in the charts. And I'm chasing around the world, singing Itsy Bitsy with the 2 gorgeous Itsy Bitsy girls. Utterly lovely. Not as lovely as Mrs. Mallett, of course, but that goes without saying. Especially if I want some tea tonight. Right, yeah, let's get some red flowers into here. I'm doing a bit of work down there on those flowers. Now then, I'm going to put some greenery into here, and we're going to build up the texture of the dark, shadowy green that's in the shadow here. Okay, because that fountain is casting quite a shadow across here. Favourite country on Wackaday? There's so many lovely countries I went to. Loved going to Italy and meeting my cousin, Spaghetti Mallett, who phenomenally looks a lot like me. He was great. One of the things I got to do, though, which I wouldn't recommend now, was to swim in the Grand Canal in Venice. Why did I do that? Because I could. So I did. In my book, Utterly Brilliant, My Life's Journey, I mix tales from cycling the Camino de Santiago with tales from my career. And I talk about the guides we had in Thailand, the Thai tides, who had glorious names, Nit and Warranit. I love that. I love those names. And Nit and Warranit were to show us all the sights of Thailand. So naturally, I dressed up as the king of Thailand with ties all round my neck, looking suitably bonkers. And Nit and Warranit got upset and said, "You can't do that. That's disrespectful to the royal family." You wouldn't do that in England. Really? Really? Oh, well, the thing is, we're quite different in the way we talk about people in authority here. We don't mind making jokes about people who are in authority, and we hold them in. We hold them to account, and we find humour in things. I think it's quite healthy. So that was quite entertaining with Knit and Warren it. Trying different foods is always a pleasure. In Malaysia, when we did the tour around Malaysia, we did a tour, what was it, Cancer to Capricorn we called it. We did the different, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Thailand, and then down to Australia. And it was brilliant. Utterly, utterly brilliant. So let me tell you a bit about Malaysia. In Malaysia, we went and did one of those lovely rubber plantations. Because you need rubber, especially if you're going to make a new face. Cue the Michael Jackson puppet. And that was interesting. That was good. Talking to Michael Jackson, it was entertaining to meet Bubbles the chimp when we were in California. So often with these things is you meet somebody who knows somebody else who can introduce you to somebody who can say, how about? And so we got to meet Bubbles the chimp. And he was terrific, dear Bubbles. I liked him, and I got him to sign a poster of the King of Pop for me. So I've got this poster of Michael Jackson, and Bubbles the chimp gets a Sharpie pen out and takes the top off and scribbles all over it. What an autograph! What a treasured autograph! I've got the video of that. Found that in amongst my my collection of tapes. So for some reason I had the VHS of the rushes. The rushes are the bits that you film. You have a collection of rushes, and then from that lot they edit the final piece, and I can see the takes we did to do Michael Jackson's chimp. Yay! I enjoyed filming in the Middle East, in Jordan. We filmed in Jordan around Christmas time and did Petra, the rose red city, half as old as time. And I did the story of Tindiana Jones and the fourth wise man. The fourth wise man, what was his gift to the little baby Jesus? Well, he brought a t-shirt and a lollipop. And it was lovely. How do these stories emerge? They come from just the general chat. We all think of a gag. Will that work? Don't know. Should we try it and see? Okay, let's try it and see what we get out of it. See if we handle it properly. And by properly, I mean, have we been fair to the people we come across along the way, or the countries, or their customs? And for that, one of the really important things for me is that all the gags are done in vision. They're all done with people there, so that they've got their opportunity to to see the joke and to be in on it. I'm not keen on voiceover afterwards where, oh, I thought of this great joke in the luxury of the edit suite. Yeah, but that's not fair. That's not fair on the places you've been to, because they haven't got any comeback. So if you're going to do something funny, do something funny that they can laugh with and enjoy the joke with you. I'll give you an example. You know, you're going to do a dance, a national dance in the country. Well, do it as well as you can do it, and if it's funny, then they've enjoyed it. They've laughed along with you. Remember doing the plate smashing dance in Greece, and that was good. So I'm going to smash all the plates because that's what, you know, Greek dancing does. But it's not done to smash the plates because they're awful plates. It's done as a celebration. Try and explain it. I'm not explaining this very well, am I? I'll tell you why, because I'm thinking about what I'm painting here. I'm going to need to get some more of this darkness into the statue. That's quite interesting. It's quite a thin colour, that. I was thinking it was thicker, but it's not. It's quite a watery looking colour. Now I'll get the white here. I'm going to drag it over the top of the statue of the head, which will give us that highlight. And because it's mixed with the other colours in there. That's a wing. Okay. Whoa, got a pigeon on the top. Hello, pigeon. It's pigeon season at the moment. They're all busy courting. There's a lot of pigeon noise going on. They get a bit frisky. Right, this fountain. I inherited this fountain. From Fool If You Think It's Over, Chris Rea. And he put this in place. Got in trouble for doing it. Got in trouble from his agent, his management, because he almost dropped those cherubs on his fingers. And of course his management said, listen, that's your livelihood. Don't damage your fingers for a fountain. Get a man in. Your fingers are what you use when you're playing your guitar. Now this warmth today is making these colours dry quickly. I can feel it. I can feel the way that these colours are drying. Right, I want to get some definition in here. If you just tuned in and you're wondering, is that Timmy Mallett? Why is he a bit quiet? It's because I'm concentrating. So are you. Concentrating on what I'm doing. See the trees in the background there. Right, that's starting to look like something. Now, there's a bit of a mess down the bottom here. Also, have a little pause a second, look at that, and I'll read some of your messages. Here I am in Perth, says Jennifer, and I'm famished. Well, have a nice little dinner. Jill Widdop in Galloway, in Dumfries. I remember my friends and I having Swatch watches and collecting the changeable straps and faces. They were great, weren't they? Nate Hortley, am I too late for the fridge auction? All you have to do is to turn up and collect it. You can take it away and have it. Is there a country you didn't go to that you'd like to have done? Well, there's plenty of countries. Yeah, I never got to South America yet. So, Timmy, obviously you've seen lots of amazing views and been to some extraordinary places. If you could go back to any of them and paint, which would you do? Well, the good news is I painted lots when I was there, because one of the rules was make sure you cover it. If you're going to do some filming, you film and think about your filming each and every day. So you're really working. You're working every day to think of things to do. And so there would be paintings done every day. You remember those paintings because they turned up on the Wackaday set. Had them all the time. On the Wackaday set. Now, I'm getting thirsty for a cup of tea. Don't suppose you've seen Mrs. Mallett anywhere. I could go cooey, which is her favourite noise, but if I was to do that, she'd be busy doing something. That's it. Bit of colour down here. Getting there now. This is starting to look good. Now, I think I was talking about this the other day. Light and shade. Light and shade, because that builds up the shape of what you're trying to create. I'm just getting in the shape of these boots here. Now those look like a bit of squiggles, but they're not. They're actually... I'm going to show you where I'm up to in a second. Hold still. Right, let's have a little look and see if this makes any sense to you. Okay, you can see, I think, the way this is taking shape. Now, I'll put that just down there. Let's have a little look. Okay. Right. There's some colour here. And over here, those are the flowers I want to get in. And some of the shoes on the fountain. Some of the shoes on the fountain. Right, how's that looking? Any ideas? Any thoughts? Right. Light and shade, light and shade, light and shade. I'm going to turn that. If I turn that, will that ruin your view? I don't think so. You're watching Mallett's Pallette right now on Facebook, and then later, for those who don't do Facebook, I'll put this onto YouTube. And my good pal Ian in Blackburn does a little bit of tidying up and editing. You're getting it actually live right here, right now on Facebook. Any chance of a cup of tea, Mrs. Mallett? Yeah, I'd like a hot cross bun, please, if that's possible. Thank you. Right. That's feeling good there. Now that shadow, yeah, that's a different colour. I want to use this antique brown in the antique brown with the Wedgwood blue grey will be my shadow across here. Now, how are you getting on reading Utterly Brilliant, My Life's Journey? I ask this because there's some nice text and messages coming through from people who are reading it and enjoying the story of where I'm up to and the things that have happened and how different the weather was 2 years ago at this time. We had one of the wettest springs Europe has ever had. But for those who are looking for a good book to read, Utterly Brilliant, My Life's Journey follows the adventures on my cycle ride on the Camino de Santiago. It's got tales from Wackaday, tales from the career, things that I have done, and they're mixed together. And how do you do it? So you'll notice, those who are reading it will notice that Camino, the cycling adventure, tends to be in the present tense, and when you're reading about the career and memoirs, that'll be in the past tense. That's universal throughout, except where for dramatic purposes I have put the memoirs into the present tense. Oh, that's working nicely now. Now I'm getting some detail into this greenery down the front. So I mixed colour. Where's it gone? Ah, that's it. The Tarlo green. The Tarlo green is almost like an emerald. And if I put that into here, that adds a bit of drama into that green here. Shows how the ferns, I love ferns. Ferns are my plant. They're my favourite in the garden, because they've been around since the dinosaurs. Before there was grass, there were ferns in the world. And at this time, when we're in this forced to stay at home and not go anywhere, you're reminded that there's nothing you can do. Nature's in charge. We've got to just look after ourselves. And after we've gone, there'll still be ferns. That's weird, isn't it? That's a weird thing to say. After humanity is gone, there'll still be ferns. Right. Oh, okay, I'm getting some greys and stuff into here now. Are you selling the fridge? Are you selling? No, we're giving the fridge away. Don't want it. The fridge is it's going because it doesn't stay cold very well anymore, which is what fridges are supposed to do. But you never know. You know, I'll when this cup of tea and hot cross bun comes back, I'll ask Mrs. Mallett if you know, you can have the dead fridge. You're welcome to the dead fridge. Anybody want a dead fridge? I love that. Okay. I read one chapter a day of your brilliant book because I didn't want it to end too quick, says Martin Knowles. Yeah, that's the right way of doing a book. I absolutely agree with you that sometimes the slower you read the book, the more you can enjoy each chapter as you go. So one of the things that's happening is, while this lockdown's on, if you'd like a personally dedicated copy of the book, then you go to timmymallett.co.uk and I will sign it to you with a special message and a special little addition. I'll put in one of the homemade Timmy bookmarks and also a little thingy hidden inside the book. I'll put something in specially for you. Right, so you go to timmymallett.co.uk/shop, and that's also where you get hold of Pinky Punky. Mr. Mallett, can I go to the toilet? A very good thing to have for those games nights with the family. You know, when you're thinking, right, we've got to play some games, we've watched enough telly, what games can we play? Well, of course, top of the list is Mallett's Mallet, and you need a Pinky Punky Mallet for that. They're also very cuddly, and he's got hair that you can comb. Right, so you get that from timmymallett.co.uk. You can get it elsewhere online, of course you can. But if you buy it from timmymallett.co.uk, you might just get something extra in there, a little giftlet. You might. You don't know, do you? Is it worth doing that thing? Just telling you. Thank you very much. Mrs. Mallett, you'll be very pleased to know that there's a bunch of people want the old fridge.
But they're both broken.
There are two fridges, both broken. One's been in the shed, and the other is keeping the beers cold, but it's not keeping the beers very cold. So what's the deal then? If somebody wants the fridge, they've got to collect it. But of course you can't collect it.
No,
because
it's going to the recycling.
Is it? When are they turning up? Sometime today. Sometime between now and 7 o'clock. There's a bloke turning up with a new fridge and taking the old ones, 2 of them, away. So sorry, you can't have it. Right, I'm going to have my hot cross bun. 1 a penny, 2 a penny hot cross buns. Ah, AJ! My pal AJ, who thinks he's a good tennis player. He's not really. It would be a perfect weekend for tennis. Perfect. What a shame. You need beer to be cold, as Mac parties. Yes, you do. Right. Keep your messages coming in. That fountain has been in this position for about 30 years. And I can see something I need to do. And it's so obvious. Why didn't you say? Well, I'm feeling quite good with this now. What happens next is that I absorb this, look at it, and then go, okay, does it need some more doing to it? I might add some more with oil paints in my studio. Just to give you a little idea, earlier this morning I did a little practice watercolour. So, there's the watercolour, and there's the acrylic. They're quite different, aren't they? I think that looks really good on the watercolour, and I think I could do with the same happening here. And in fact, you just pointed it out to me. Thank you very much. Just by sitting there and looking at that, it's so obvious. Right. Just, hello! Yeah. I'll put this, So, who's at work today? Who's hard at work, and this is all part and parcel of your working experience? My guess is I'm just on in the corner while you're doing something else, and every now and again you're coming back to have a little look and see what I'm doing. That's what you're doing, isn't it? Isn't it? More depth in the acrylic, says Kelly. Yeah, I think you're right. But it is. There's more contrast to the whole thing, isn't there? Somebody was asking me the other day for starter sets of paints. Found this. This is a starter set. It's an Artist's watercolour starter set, and the colours are a yellow, a red, a dark blue, a very bright green, yellow ochre, and the white. I've taken the white out and I'm using it somewhere else. But those are the colours you need to start with, and from those colours you can mix anything. Anything at all. It's amazing how that works. Keep that there. Oops, no I won't. I'll drop it on the floor. Where's the little thin brush gone? Oh, that's it. Okay. Let's get some of that antique brown into here. Now this is looking different to you, isn't it? Because suddenly this is in highlight. It's in sunlight, and that will be looking odd and different for you because the camera, of course, can't quite work out the difference. It has difficulty working that out. So in a minute I'll show you how it looks. I'll bring it up to the camera and we'll have a little look. Right, that's some of that Naples yellow. It's dark green in here now. The acrylic has a body to it, and the thickness of the paint is always enjoyable when you see the finished artwork with paint that's gone on thickly. I don't know, it just looks more expensive somehow, doesn't it? It just looks like more effort's gone into it because it's got thicker paint. I always say the important thing with the painting is that your eyes do some of the work. It's not all me, some of it's down to you. Right, where's that blue gone? So I take my ultramarine blue, and if I add this direct, onto here. Your eyes mix it again. It's amazing how good eyes are at mixing colours. And the colours do a different job in different parts of the painting. Okay, let's pause a second. Alright, there you go, you're getting a close-up view of it now. Thoughts, please. Comments. Ping them out, let me hear. What do you want to say about this? Richard Cox is in furlough, retirement at the end of May, so all this has arrived earlier for the wrong reasons. What's my favourite thing I like painting? Well, at the moment I'm enjoying painting the arrival of spring. I think the arrival of spring is really good. Kelly Hope is a swimming teacher, so there's no work for you. Oh, that's a shame. Okay. Well, there's my boots on the fountain. Shoes on the fountain, old boots, planted up. I water them each day, and they grow. Isn't that amazing how things that we think I've had enough of those, that's the end of that, have got another life. Apart, that is, from the fridge. The old fridge, that's going to go. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we've been going for an hour, and I think it's time to do something else now. I'm going to stop at this stage. I'm going to look at it again, have a further think about it. I'd like to say thank you for your comments. Thanks for your company this morning. It's been a pleasure sitting here in the sunshine and enjoying the arrival of spring in Timmy Towers at my garden. And you'll have some comments about this, so ping them along this way. We'll do some more of this if you don't mind, and on another day. But in the meantime, don't forget, Utterly Brilliant, My Life's Journey. If you want one for Easter, get it ordered today, and I'll pop up to the post office later on, and I'm sure I'll be the one who's sent out while the fridge man, somebody's waiting around for the fridge man to come and collect it. I'll do the post run. So for Pinky Punky for the party nights, you know, the games nights, or for a good read, Utterly Brilliant, My Life's Journey, about career, some paintings, cycling, adventures, and people I've met along the way. I'd really enjoy your company, and thanks so much for watching. This is Timmy saying stay well, stay safe, keep smiling, and remember, blah! Ta-da!